started here.
Hello.
Hey
All
everyone,
right.
I'm now live finally. Gonna post something in announcements real quick. And the stream is live. All right. And I'll throw it in streaming schedule. And let me throw the thing down there. Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hey everyone. If you're in our Discord, you're welcome to join the voice chat and join the conversation there. I think that there will be some conversation, not too much, but as always, you're welcome to participate in voice chat or in text chat. I've got an eye on text chat here. So today I want to talk about our Warfront update, our war effort, what's going on, how is everything Vortex Rising, how is the health of Vortex Rising, what's coming, and I think that there's a special and exciting announcement at the end that should be pretty hype. Hey Caleb, good to see you. Don't think I've seen you in chat in a while, or maybe you're a newer face and I don't remember you, but welcome. Um, so quick caveat, everything here is subject to change. Today's update will have a shortened and updated mission and objectives. If you have seen our streams before, this will actually be new for you this time. But it's shorter, a little bit more condensed, and I think it gets to the point in a much more effective way. So we'll see what you guys think about that. Then I have a status update, which is kind of the meat of the presentation. I've got some special thank yous for community members who have just been absolutely outstanding, who need to have some time in the spotlight because they absolutely deserve it. And then I have the special announcement at the end. So let's get started. Hey Apocalypse, hi. Caleb says he's been playing this game while it was icons. Oh, nice. Well, welcome back. So for mission, who am I? Why am I here? I'm co-founder of Wavedash. I was excited by Wavedash's promise to make something for the streaming era. I was disappointed, but I'm not giving up, and now I'm betting it all to do it all for real. I bought Icons out of bankruptcy. We're pivoting the company, and things are looking really exciting and really promising. And I'm really excited for you all to be here for that. Why does our mission matter? So this is something that we had in our Twitter thread, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But let's look at Fortnite's World Cup prize versus Melee. And even if we don't say Fortnite, if we say Rocket League, that's a $1 million prize pool. If we say Brawlhalla, that's a $250,000 first place prize pool. Melee 2018 Evo, that was Leffen, $8,000 for first place. Now, why does that matter? Well, let me ask you this question. What do these streamers all have in common? They're all ex-pros. This is so important to understand that the sooner a developer allows people to basically go full-time creating content in and around that ecosystem, the more that ecosystem is going to thrive, the more that game's going to thrive. And you'll get Zero, you'll get Ninja, you'll get I'm a Cutie Pie, or any other like OG famous streamer. They were ex-pros. They were living off that prize money. That prize money allowed them to go full-time on the game, full-time content creation, which just gets more people excited about the game, which gets more people into the game, which gets bigger prize pools, and it just becomes a cycle that goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. And this is a big problem. I would argue if Smash or other fighting games were investing more in their players, not just through prize pools, but just content creators in general, these numbers wouldn't look like that, where fighting games are watched 15 times less than MOBAs and shooters. I genuinely believe that, and that's what Vortex Games is about. That's what Vortex Rising is about. We're trying to create an ecosystem where our community is highly interactive, highly engaged, constantly involved, and has so many opportunities to contribute and be helpful. And that's why we have the Sage program and the War Master program and so on. and we'll be trying to do as much of that as we can. This was a slide that we've had for a long time, and the question is, well, who do we need to convince that fighting games deserve respect, that fighting games should have bigger pools? I think everyone in the fighting game genre believes that. At least they think they would appreciate bigger pools. I think that there's a lot of debate about whether or not Nintendo should do it, whether or not Capcom should do it. Like, the games are fine. They don't need to do it, but if they did, it would be positive. And when it comes to growing the ecosystem, the only way we're going to do that is by attracting people who don't normally watch these things, who don't normally engage with fighters, who normally are shooter players or MOBA players. We need to get these people to be watching fighting games. We need them to be engaging with fighting games. And the way we're going to do that comes down to our mission, our goals, and our objectives. So we want to be a sandbox fighting game, not a platform fighting game, not a traditional fighting game or whatever. And why I call it sandbox is it's got a high potential for creativity, for expression, for style, and for flair. And we want to minimize overtly optimal moves by giving everything as many trade-offs as possible. And we want to have a lot of game modes centered on exploration, including a PvE co-op game mode where you can learn and discover new things about your character in specific scenarios that might be challenging. And that can have like a whole speedrunning element to it, right? But the idea is there's no one right way to play this game. We want people to think about it as exploring something, developing a skill set that will be valuable to them no matter what part of our ecosystem that they want to play in. So one of the important objectives is player interactivity. So we want to have plentiful and significant opportunities for player interaction. That means our round robin lobbies, even if you're playing one-on-one, you're in a lobby with other people and you're rotating and you're watching and you're learning from other people playing. If you lose to somebody, you then watch someone fight them and you're like, oh wow, that's what I did wrong or that's what I did right. Like, I'm seeing how this player is playing consistently and I'm learning their play style. I'm also learning how other players are trying to deal with it. With the team play, that you're playing cooperatively with people, with holograms where you can communicate. And there's all the community roles, whether you're a creator, a sage, war master, or just a chosen member who is really involved in the community. There are ways for you to interact with us that's not just playing the game by yourself. The other objective is approachability and growth. So this is something where when you first get into the door, there needs to be a clear starting point, a clear direction, and ample opportunities for exploration, growth, and discovery with limitless potential there. So you can go, okay, well, I really like Frenzy, or I really like the end game mode where I'm trying to get combos and really kind of not just win neutral game like I do in Frenzy, but actually follow up and get those first two combos and really push myself to get those combos. I think that that's a lot of fun. I think that we want to create as much opportunity for that as possible. I think that having the PvE co-op mode will really help there too. I think that the team-based stuff where people can carry you and give you tips, as long as our community, our Discord is really warm and inviting and helping teach people these things, we're accomplishing all of that. So let's go to the status update now. And I think that this is the part that I'm particularly proud of. We've done a shit ton of things in the past few weeks. We've launched the War Masters program. We're now in Norway, we're in Mexico, we're in Canada, we're in 12 US states, we're in Spain, and we have had, half a dozen events already in all of those places, and I can't believe that because we only just started this 2 weeks ago. We have launched our pro FGC Twitter campaign, talking about the prize pools, talking about why fighting games are underinvested in from a netcode perspective, from a prize pool perspective, from a community perspective. People are they're underinvesting in the ecosystem. They're not providing tutorials. They're not helping people get more involved. Beyond that, in the game itself, we've added shield bashes, we've added super jumps, we've added health bars, we've added the end game, which is like the soul points. We've now got new animations coming in, which we'll be talking about in a second. We now have reversals, which is a brand new mechanic that we finally have in the game in a way that's not breaking everything and where our hit stun's not zero, which is great. And there's also some sneaky stuff that we've done that will be relevant related to the announcement coming up. Was there anything here that either people in chat or people in voice chat wanted to like comment on about like the status of these things? Like, are you happy where shield bashes are, where super jumps are, where health bars endgame are? You know, what do you think of the zoo animation? What do you think of reversals? What do you think of the War Master program or our Twitter campaign? I have so many things I could say about all of this, but I want to give you guys some time to raise what's on your mind here.
I I really like where all the new mechanics are. They feel really good, fit into the genre. Shield Bash feels like it might be a little too strong occasionally, just because the hitbox stays out so long. But
Mm-hmm.
apart from that, everything feels very good.
Thank you, Nintendogs. I will take a piece of paper here and take some notes on what you said. So we said Shield Bash is potentially too long. Hitbox. And that's specifically on the side, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What else, folks?
I mean, I guess I'll jump in and say I won't mention anything specific, but for those of you who are less active, I think we're moving in a really good direction. You know, not all of us agree with everything all the time, but the more feedback we give, it's moving in a direction I think that benefits us all. So if you do think of anything, or just like Nintendo said, where hey, we think this is a little bit too strong, we take note and then we tweak it until it feels good. So I think we've made a lot of progress even in the last month or so alone since we've started this project. So
I mean, literally a month ago, nothing that was on the screen here existed, except for super jumps. Did super jumps? Do we just vertical super jumps?
That's right.
Yeah, none of this existed a month ago. All of this is 30 days old or less. Cicero says he really likes the design of health bars and stuff, but I think it might be better if the portraits and bars were reversed. Yeah. That is the second time we're getting that on one of these like kind of pointed streams. Portraits on outside.
Yeah, I think people have said both ways, so
yeah, I think it's
maybe
just
that's
better
just something
to have
we make it an option.
I don't know if that should be an option. Do you think people would actually genuinely prefer to have the portraits on the inside?
Of the squares?
So if you've got the UI,
Yeah.
you've got going from the outside in, we currently have health bars, portraits, timer.
Oh, yeah.
And so
I'm fine with
what
how it
Cicero's
looks.
saying is he wants portraits, health bars that still drain into the middle, and then the timer.
I think that it is good to have things that the traditional fighting games are used to, but in that case, I'd say it makes more sense because in more than one player matches, it always drains towards the player icon.
And also, whenever you would end up looking at like the time, you would be able to see the healths a little more clearly as well, if they were pointed in.
Aren't they already pointed in? They drain in towards the center.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you meant.
You want to flip them around, like including so they drain outwards to Cicero?
Yes. Because like if I'm looking down at the timer, then it would be, I guess, easier to see the health bar in that case.
Really?
Most fighting games have everything draining inwards, but we can try moving around the portraits. I don't think that's a big deal. We can see how that works. See what we prefer. NajK93 says that is crazy. So many things that feel so crisp. Thank you. I think honestly the reason why it kind of jives so well together, first of all, is how many times we iterate on it very quickly. Like just today, I had 3 patches on the reversal system. And then before that, I had, 4 or 5 iterations of what the reversal system was even going to be with people in the last 48 hours. Mm-hmm. And so when I work with you guys, I don't bring any ego to the table. I don't say this is what it has to be. I just say, okay, this is the direction I want to go. And as long as somebody's giving me feedback that is along that path, then I go, yeah, let's do it. As long as everyone's in agreement, obviously. But I don't, portraits on the outside, yeah, let's try it, So Najko says, knockback by health bar can be quite hard to recognize. If you have your opponent on 2 or 3, it'd be easier. We want an easier way to read it. I think a good way to do that would be just rough idea here is like a needle, and the needle would be a color, and it would also like follow the actual outline, and it would stick up a bit more, and so you could see just the color of the thing and where it is. That might help. I don't know. I'll think about what knockback band clarity, KBB. I agree that it needs to be there.
What if we changed the name colors to match your knockback band? I've always thought that was a good idea.
The name colors?
Yeah.
Of the characters?
Mm-hmm.
In the health bar UI or in the little tag system above their head?
Above your head.
Above your head. But then you don't know what team people are on.
Okay. Right, and then if you rely on it, normally it'll be confusing for teams. The other thing I was thinking
we could do an indicator above the tag though. So you can have your tag and then you can have a little box, like a little rectangle above it that just kind of pivots up, and that could be the color of whatever they are. Or it could be, a little circle next to them. Or it could be a glowing color around it, honestly. There's a bunch of different...
Mm-hmm. My other idea was, I believe currently you flash red when you get hit.
Yeah.
What if that was colored to your knockback band?
Yeah.
I think that's a no-brainer, in my opinion.
That seems pretty good. That's a great suggestion, Ataru. Good stuff.
Thanks.
Well, thank you, NajK93. That's really helpful. We just came up with a great little solution there. Cicero says he loves the Zoo Rush animation. Why do you say laughing your ass off, though? I don't know if I like that. It's not supposed to be like you want to laugh at it. It's just supposed to be cool. Neutral Rush is hilarious. Yeah, she's like, meow. But I think most people will interrupt it. They're not gonna let it idle like that. But I think that we will probably do a second wave after we do the shield bashes. We're probably gonna give Zoo and Zana a neutral rush animation as well.
Yeah, on the note of the rush for Zoo, it looks very good. but the particle effects on it are a bit too big. They cover her complete animation occasionally.
That has to do more with the weapon trails being really inconsistent sometimes. Because if they're doing what they're supposed to, it shouldn't actually cover it all that much. So that's just something we need to look at. And it's kind of a low priority right now. But I can see if we can figure something out there. They're very inconsistent, I agree. I don't know why. What's doing it. Sometimes they're like really, really sleek and thin, as Sister was saying, and sometimes they're like these massive like blocks. I don't know what's doing that, but
I think I do.
You do?
Yeah, it could be the rotation of it. It could be. My guess is it's applied as a flat band in 3D space.
Mm-hmm.
So when you twist it, it looks like.
I don't think it's the rotation.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is, for example, for Zoo's projectile or rush, she like twirls, and so here we're getting like every single thing. And when I say it's inconsistent, it's not that it's inconsistent throughout a single move. It will be like sometimes the entire thing for the entire duration of the move is sleek and thin, and sometimes for the entire duration of the entire move, it's like these thick, blotchy looking things.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't think that that's rotation based. I think that it is has to do with our pooling, how we pool the effects. And I know that that's an issue in general because right now, every single time an effect is rendered in the game, we create the effect entity, and then we just let it sit there.
Right.
And then we create another one, and then we create another one, and we create another one. And so by the time the game's over, there's like literally like 50,000 effect particles that have been rendered, that are continuing to be rendered in the game, that are like not active.
I actually checked literally half an hour ago, and the hit trails at least are being deleted properly.
The hit trails are being deleted properly? That's good.
Yeah.
But the other particle effects are certainly not.
Okay.
If you want to look at that, that'd be...
Right. Well, I'm actually working on the hit trails right now, so...
Oh, okay. What are you doing on hit trails?
I'm making it so that when show hitboxes is on, hit trails are turned off, so that you can see the hitboxes.
Oh. Well, I don't know if you have to do that. I think you can just...
I have a write-up. I can show you why.
Oh, okay, sure. All right, that's fine. Cool. Good stuff. Anything else, folks? I like the hit stun color to KBB. Does anyone have any like aversions to that? Where your hit stun color that flashes is now the color of the knockback band that you're in.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Yeah, that's Ataru's. Sick. All right, we got 2 people who love it. Nobody's saying anything bad about it. I think we're gonna put that in. Try to put that in the next patch, which I might be able to do tonight still, which would be great. Who had the knockback band color clarity issue in the first place? NajK93, are you still there? Do you think that will address your concern? You said it sounds very good, but do you think that that's enough to be like, okay, I now know what color they're in? He's in green, he's in yellow. I'll wait for his response because I know there's a bit of a delay. One of the things that we're going to do here still, I think the super jumps are all in a really good place. One thing that we're going to do from here is shield bashes will reflect projectiles in the starting hitbox frames. And I agree with you that it might not be enough. But if it flashes a color, that is perfect. Okay, well then maybe it is enough. We'll see. I think that if I tell you that they're flashing in the color of the knockback band, you'll notice. But if I don't tell you that, you might not notice. You know what I mean? That's why I originally said it might not be enough. Which is like it's only if it's like explained to someone they might get it and they go, oh, like that's why the flashing color is changing. But yeah, I agree with you, Nash K.
That sounds like a good loading screen blurb.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We should think about like the loading screens too. That's like a big thing that I want to do. And it'll come up actually, but the loading screen like tooltips I think can actually say stuff now as opposed to just, hey, come to our sessions. Cool. Last chance, folks, before I move on. Anything else, guys? You guys are all happy with everything? Any feedback for anything else here at all? All right. I mean, there's plenty of other opportunities, so it's not like you're locked into anything now. So this was a GIF, or not a GIF, an image I put in Discord, and I am really excited that we now have animations coming into the game, and that is special thanks to Omni, who's just been a stud, and I also have, Ritzler and Caleb on the art side. I have Metafist and Nyx, who have also been really instrumental. But here's what we're looking to do coming soon. Balance-wise, we want to have a new patch, new balance patch. I mean, we're constantly making balance adjustments every single patch, but we want to have like a big balance patch where we just kind of go through like every character and just do a tuning on them. For animations, we are doing the Zoo and Zana Rush. Then we're going to do shield bashes for all of the characters. Then we're going to get rid of Zoo's Marthy moves. Separately, we are going to be reworking Kid, Afi and Galu, and Ezzy. I'm going to try to get Kid done sooner rather than later. On the game modes front, we have Team Assist and Solo Assist. I really want to get Solo Assist online ASAP. That's probably my top priority of everything here. And, barring any issues, that should be the next big thing coming out for me. Otherwise, it might be like a Kid rework, for example. Or if there's like game-ending bugs I need to fix, then obviously that will be the priority. I think that Solo Assist, maybe endgame mode, maybe turbo mode, and maybe Kid in that order, I can even get done this week. Just this next week, which would be really, really fun. And turbo mode basically won't even be a game mode, it's going to be a control setting. And what turbo mode is actually, we'll call it like weird mode, where if you click it, you will automatically auto cancel all of your attacks if you have a spark. And it will trigger like right after the last hitbox. So you'll have frame perfect cancels. And if you whiff an attack, we won't trigger it. What do you mean with Solo Assist? So Solo Assist is Team Assist mode, but more like a Marvel vs. Capcom style game where you've got CPU controlled players where they're not even CPU. They're just placeholder players, and you as one person rotate through all three people, and you as one person activate the assists of all three people. Dragon Ball FighterZ, like Solo Assist is Dragon Ball FighterZ, but in this game. And that is, once we get that up and running, I think that's going to be a big deal because that's basically going to be the default mode for everything. And yes, you can access solo assist on local currently. The way you do it is you just play team assist mode, and you queue up a CPU on your team, and you'll actually play it like solo assist. The way that by the time I think we get solo assist in the game, will probably allow lobbies to have like custom settings, so you could say like, are we playing with assists or not? Are we playing with permaspark or not? Are we playing with one hit KO or not? And that basically trims down our game modes from like what we have to not that many. Are we playing with rounds or not? Are we doing a rotation or not? And so I think that once we get those toggles in, like the game mode setting will actually be a lot simpler than what we have now, and I'm excited to get that in the game too. One like really nice polish thing I'd like to do. One thing I would like to do on my end is to let getting distracted here. Lobbies. Oh, was I wanted to have like, if you go to the stage settings, instead of random, we could have like picks and bans, and then people could actually like start banning them and picking them like we have people do in competitive mode. And you know, they can do it that way. I think would be really, really fun for folks. And if you do picks and bans, there could also be a random option there. And so if you do it that way, then the host, you can just ban the walk-offs, for example, and then click random, and you'll do it that way. But I don't know when we'll be able to accomplish that. That's kind of like a next wave. We could have a little coin toss thing right there in the game too. So, give me 1 second. Okay, so next is special thank yous. So I am really, really grateful for you guys because the amount of growth that we've had in the last month is, and like the fact that we're accelerating and that things are getting faster and more exciting and more polished, is thanks to you. And I want to thank you for that. So, and in particular, there are people that I need to call out and thank. So first of all, this is a big group. This is a big batch of people to thank at once. Everyone else is actually be thanked individually hereafter. But the chosen, these are folks who come online multiple times a week. These are people who support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Vortex Rising. These are people who are taking the time to hang out in voice chat and talk to me and talk to Omni and to talk to people. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for supporting us. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have the motivation to wake up every day and work on this, genuinely. And there were many times where over the last year, I didn't want to do that. I did not want to work on this anymore. It was really depressing. And the fact that we, cultured this amazing group of players really, really, really inspired me to keep going. And I'm so glad it did. And every month things get better. The game gets more and more polished. More and more people join our team. And it's really all thanks to our most dedicated players. Speaking of players, I have two people in particular that I want to thank, and that is our MVP players, Valnashir and Cicero. If you guys have not been watching our tournaments and you've been living under a rock and you've not been paying attention, these guys are easily our number one and number two players, respectively. They deserve massive kudos from everyone in our Discord because they are setting the bar for what's possible in this game. And whenever I want to do something pretty dramatic to the game, like the reversal feature or anything like that, I'm always running it by these guys. And these guys, always have my ear when anything comes to the game balance. I give so much respect to these players because they literally, I don't know what else they do with their lives because it seems like they're always playing this game. And I feel like, well, besides Dokapon and Slay the Spire and Valnashir's case, but besides that, or Temtem, I don't know. I'm just so grateful for these guys. And I think that the entire Discord owes a lot to these guys because a lot of the reason why we are where we are is thanks to them. And if not that, then the fact that they inspire everybody showing what's possible in this game. Their clips are like marketing material for this game. When they play the game, like people watch in awe. And that is so awesome to have players like that. And I just want to give you guys big, big thank you. So thank you both very much. Next, I want to thank some MVP Sages. So these two have actually contributed to the Sage effort in two very different ways. And I think that's really important to call out. We have Model Zero, who whenever, I think recently I was just like, hey, I need somebody online right now that can show an initiate how to play the game. And Model Zero came on and was like, yeah, sure, I'll take care of it. I'm happy to run this new player through all of our mechanics and talk to them about everything that's going on. And players like Model Zero are so important to our ecosystem because without them, we're not going to grow. If we don't have anything in our game that's a tutorial right now, we don't have anything in our game that teaches people how to play. You are our tutorial, and players like Model Zero are an amazing example for folks because whenever he's available, he's jumping on and he's helping out, and I want to really thank him for that. I think an honorable mention here is Handarin. He's been super as well as talking to new players and walking them through things. Really glad to have you both in our community. Ala Wonder on the right has been doing things a little differently. He is a creator. He's great with video, and so he's put together these GIFs that are part of this great Imgur package right now. I might even be able to pull it up really quickly. If you don't know it, if you're not a new player, you haven't seen it. If you are a new player, definitely check it out. He went through all the time to get together a bunch of clips of all the different mechanics in the game and what you can do and how it works, and how you can rush cancel and how you what the difference is between rush canceling and not rush canceling, right? And so here he goes hey, this is a rush cancel wave dash. This is a rush cancel combo. Here's a jump cancel, right? I'm so glad that he's done this because it's made explaining these mechanics so much easier to our new players and giving them just a list of everything that's possible, because without this Imgur, they just don't even know. They just think, oh, this is icons. Without that Imgur, people will just look at it and go, oh, it's icons. But once you show them that Imgur, they're like, wow, this is really something. now I want to thank our MVP War Masters. We have Daniel on the left and Carmine on the right. Both of these guys have been exceptional community members when it comes to leading the war effort. They have each, by the end of this weekend, have hosted multiple events in their territories, Georgia and Texas, respectively. I can't thank them enough for getting the word out there, showing the game to new people. For Daniel, I know that, or maybe it was Carmine, I might be mixing you guys up here, apologies, but one of your venues is actually called Vortex. Another one wants to, host a bracket for Vortex Rising already. And these kinds of things are super exciting, and I can't wait for more War Masters to really take inspiration from you guys. And I think there's a lot more in store for you thanks to your kind of initiative, which will be coming up in the next announcement here. Last, this is the special thanks section, and then here we have the special thanks. So this is special cubed. Metafist, Nintendogs, AJ Red, Omni, and Pikachu. Each of you guys have done something really special, which I just want to call out. Metafist has been our go-to community manager guy, my go-to community manager guy, for months now. And without him working in the Discord, getting player feedback, all of these iterations and product developments would be a lot slower. It was his idea to create the Nolt. It was his idea to do something like the Initiative program. And really grateful to have someone like Metafist be a part of this community and contributing to it. I also want to call out that, Metafist is a paid team member where he started out kind of helping wherever he could, and wanted to take more and more responsibility to the point where he was actually doing things so that I didn't have to do them. And now if he can save my time where I can work on the game more, I can be more involved as a leader for the organization in terms of working with people like Omni or AJ to help do other things around our ecosystem. That was worth it, where I wanted to bring him on board. And the same is true for Nintendogs. Nintendogs has been around for a really long time, and now he's like a deputy Metafist, actually. And so he's going to be helping Metafist take stuff off Metafist's plate, so Metafist can do even more things that I wanted to do, or that I was doing, and now I have more opportunity to do more things that I want to do. And so things are really snowballing here, guys, because of the efforts of people who are just really, really dedicated to the cause, want to do more, are asking me what can I do, and I can, give them a path, right? And if I can't give you a path, you're welcome to figure something out, honestly. Come up with some ideas, run them by me. Metafist does that all the time. I mean, that's basically how the Initiate program started. He's like, hey, I want to do something more. And we experimented, we came up with bingo and all these little things, and eventually through iteration and ideation, we came to something that I think is going to endure and last for a long time, especially as we keep building upon it and iterating on it. AJ, he's been one of the longest term part-time developers on the project. Nix has also notably been involved, and an honorable mention to him too. But AJ will just, when he said he wanted to join, he said he had programming experience, he said he could help with like odds and ends, and like that's what he's done so well. There are so many things in a game that require help, that require constant attention and nurturing, and there's so many parts of the code base. There's literally I think 74,000 different files in the game that all communicate with each other in some way, and those relationships are really kind of nasty to figure out and dissect and go, there's a problem, where is it, how do we fix it? And when I'm focusing on kind of charging ahead and trying to do new and exciting things, he's frankly in my wake fixing all the things that I break so that I can keep with the speed. If it wasn't for him, half of the stuff that we've done this month wouldn't be there, because I would have to be cleaning up all of these things that I'd basically broken, or fixing up all these other bugs that came up as a result of the new things that we're adding. So He's been tremendous. The thing he's working on right now, which I'm so excited for, and I think this is like it sounds so dumb, guys, but it's so big. The buttons in the UI that say use this assist or this assist or this button for reflect. It currently says like strike, block, and like special, but or attack, block, special. And when he's gonna do it, it's gonna be the actual button on your controller or keyboard or mouse that you have set to that button. He's gonna have it showing. And I think that's amazing because now it's going to actually teach people, well, where is that block button? Where is that strike button? Oh, it's this. Oh, okay. And I'm so excited for him to get that into the game, and I feel like that's just around the corner. Also, honorable mention on the development side to George Conway and Binary Clone, who have been helping on the AI front, and I can't wait to get some of the fruits of their labor into the game. I have been talking a lot about Omni's animation stuff, but I think Omni's an exceptionally talented animator as well. He came up with that zoo thing really fast. Can't wait for him to help us with some of the other kind of icky, chunky animations that we have. A lot of them are like Zana's up air, Zana's neutral air, Zana's rush, the shield bashes, which we don't have an animation for. He's going to be able to help with that, and I'm so grateful for his help. And last but not least, Pikachu. Pikachu here of this list is the only person who I'm not paying yet. I'm sure that will probably change in the future, but he's just been a great creator. People joke he's the lord of the memes, but he just creates a lot of positivity in our ecosystem. He's been entering every single tournament. He's just a great guy. I'm really glad to have him here. And again, these are the role models for you guys. I want to have more people like them around, and I'm confident that we will because we're just constantly building momentum. Each of these players are doing more and more and more. An honorary third best player, according to Cicero. So there you go. He's our third best player now, at least in an honorary capacity. That said, before I advance, is there anyone here in voice chat, or is there anyone in text chat that you guys feel like you personally want to thank or acknowledge for something that they did that you saw? I don't want this to be just what's top of mind for me and what I see. I'm sure there's people who have done amazing things, and you might even remind me, oh shit, I probably should have put that person in here. If there's anyone that you think did a great thing for you, or that you saw doing a great thing for someone else, and you just want to acknowledge it, I'd love to allow everyone to kind of share the love here.
Yeah. George Clowney, as soon as I came onto the team, he showed me around the code and we worked through some bugs together, and that was really nice and made me feel really included. So I'd like to shout him out.
Thanks, Ataru. Yeah, thank you, George. He's our newest intern. I give him a lot of shit for being a bad player, but he's a terrific person and a lot of fun, and he went against my direct orders yesterday not to make Weishan dance, but he did, and it was very enjoyable for everyone who was in the stream to see Weishan twerk. So thank you, George, for that and for helping Ataru out. That's you're living up by the Vortex values, you could say, by doing that. So thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you, the people at home, for believing in us, being here, and can't do this game without you. It's not a personal pet project. We want it to enjoy it with everyone.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I see in voice chat here, shout out to Ryan Yags. I've thanked him personally a ton. He really stepped up for the last stream and actually hosted that himself with 30 minutes notice. I was like, yo, I need you. I have to step out. I can't run the stream. He did that. Cookies, another great shout out. Thank you for running streams in your free time, Cookies. He's a personality that I really want to develop. I feel like if Val this year and Cicero are some of our top players. I would argue that Cookies is potentially one of our top personalities. I think that he has the potential to be a very well-known streamer. Um, and I would love it if all of you guys could help him out next time he's streaming our game. He wants to be a dedicated Vortex Rising streamer, and he's currently our only one. And so it might as well have everyone checking him out, and engaging with him whenever he is streaming. Metaphys says he wants to thank the Brawlout community folks, like All Wonder, Light, Boomstick, for coming in and accepting us, providing feedback, and inviting even more people in. Yes, thank you to each of you guys. I should also give a shout out to Light, honestly, on the Sage part. He's been terrific at kind of onboarding new people, just being super social, super friendly, sharing, his thoughts on like how to play the game with people. So, honorary mention to Light on the Sage part. Ten Dog says, Handarin, and Precies have been very solid members for a long time, holding down the fort, very friendly members for our community. Absolutely. Handarin, I gave you an honorary mention on the Sage thing. You're just a great dude all around. Give you shit for breaking our game every now and then, but you're a great person to have in the community. Really grateful to have you been one of our, I think of you as like a founding member of this community, so really great to have you here. Precies, another very early supporter, now moderator of the community. Precies sends me videos of himself kind of talking to the camera because he knows I don't have time to read his walls of text, but I'll sometimes listen to him while I'm working and stuff, and I can digest lots of information from him at a time. And he has a lot of great feedback. He had a bunch recently on the Twitter thread, which I thought was super pointed. Yeah, thank you to Precies too. Metaphys says Light was our most active player for a long time, and he and Ollie brought in a lot through their invites and the people those people invited. So yes, thank you again. Yeah, special mention for you too, Metaphys. Don't try to kind of pop in here and not act like you deserve any spotlight yourself. You've been a rock star, man. Glad to have you on our team.
I don't want to sound cheesy, but I want to thank you Keiko, for buying this game and working on it so hard.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm working hard, guys, and I'm doing it not because I think that this game could be huge. Not that I think that this game could like really help fighting games really thrive and go to the next level. But because I honestly just really love it. I just love working on the game. I love listening to you guys. I love hanging out in voice chat. I love when people send me emails, when people send me Discord messages. I just really love it. And that's why I'm here. So thank you. Because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And that's the truth. So I appreciate the acknowledgement, but I'm only here. I'm selfishly here. I really love hanging out with you guys, so that's why I'm here. But yeah, thank you. Cool. Any last thanks from anybody to anybody? It's a feel-good moment. This isn't something that we have to isolate to these streams. If there's someone who you thought did something really nice for you, send them a DM and thank them. Or if there's someone who you think is an underappreciated member of this community, go ahead and let them know that you saw what they did and you appreciated it. But it doesn't sound like there's anything else. I'll give it a minute, and then I will keep going. Yeah, that's a big one, Cicero. Long gone, but not forgotten. Ventre was one of our first team members who was helping me get Vortex Rising started before it was called Vortex Rising. And he had this idea, like, I think I can get the input delay down to like 0. And he had this nifty trick where he put all of the rollback syncing in the hit stop. And so that's why our netcode feels so great. and it's worked like a charm. I've had several run-ins with it and broken it every now and then, but it's great and it's holding up, and we're probably going to make it a lot better once we can start bridging things over the hit stop delay as well. So yeah, shout outs to Vontre for that. He's not here, but I will send him this video and give him the timestamp so he can be like, yo, I didn't think to shout you out, but I gotta be honest, our players are seriously indebted to you for the netcode work that you did, and I would love to have him back on the project. He's a force of nature, and it can be difficult when you've got a very honed focus because he starts like doing all kinds of crazy things that occur to him. But maybe if he sees how the direction's starting to really hone in, he might find some cool things to do within there. I'd love to have him back. So yeah, shout outs to Vontre. Cool. That's a good one to end on, honestly. So now let's talk about the war effort announcement. So we started the war effort 2 weeks ago. Since then, we've had 12.5 people become war masters. We've had half of those people host events, basically, and I'm really excited with how that's going. It's really progressing faster than I thought it would. People are organizing things better than I thought they would. I honestly haven't been paying as much attention to this as the war effort as I should have, because I had my own session last Friday and I had a bunch of things that I learned from it that I need to pass on to the fellow war masters, and I just haven't had a minute to do that because it's been so crazy. It's been a really busy week, but I'm going to try to get that done tomorrow. But I think that this has so much potential, and I saw when we first announced it, people were like, oh, this won't scale, we're just doing this initially, and I'm like, no, this is something that we can do forever. Like, the War Masters are going to own their communities. You think about like the dojos. Soon, War Masters will have their own dojos. Like, that's what I want to have happen. And their community has their own dojo, and then we can have War Master versus War Master, like they're like mini weirs, where they're picking who's going to represent their dojo in dojo versus dojo battles. And maybe we come up with another name for it by then, but I have a lot of plans for where this can go. I'm super excited about its potential. And so now I want to talk about what Phase 2 looks like. So the first part of Phase 2, starting with the really exciting thing, is that we are now reaching out to top players and streamers for surgical pinpoint feedback. I pay them for 30-minute sessions to download the game, play it with me, and maybe Val Nashir and Cicero will be present, or Metafist, or Nintendo, some of our top people who we've just shouted out. They'll get to join for these sessions, and we'll have this pro player from the FGC or non-FGC come in, and I'll take them through our objectives, I'll take them through our mission, I'll show them the gameplay. We'll play together for 30 minutes, we'll do some gauntlet, we'll do some team assist, we'll get their feedback, and we've done this already successfully with one non-fighting game pro and one well-known and retired fighting game pro. He is a very well-known Smash player, hasn't been in the spotlight for quite some time, but he's really excited about what he sees. And this opens the question, who should we get now? I want to get your thoughts on who we should reach out to. And I can, some of these people I already have a relationship with, where I can go, hey, I was a founder of Wavedash, I talked to you a really long time ago, would love to get your feedback on the game, for like some pinpointed feedback here, and consider you like a consultant even, for pointed feedback, and I want to grab some people in here. So let's see who you all think we should reach out to. Void, That's a good one. Full stream. He's a Rivals player, right? Cake. Is Cake also a Rivals player? Xerox. Drugged Fox, potentially. I think Leffen and Armada. I think Armada, we might have. I don't know. Armada might be okay. Leffen, I feel like he just hates everything he touches. Stiba says Liquid Ken. That would be a good person to hear from. I feel like Armada would be very analytical, very thoughtful. You know, he'd try to be very articulate. Leffen, I feel like he would just kind of be Leffen. I don't know. Justin Wong, potentially. Daigo, potentially. Daigo might be like expensive, but you can ask him. True Bobino? Oh no, True Bobino. Yeah, okay. I'll put Leffen down. I feel like for him, or someone like, for example, like Hungrybox, I would want to wait until team assist and solo assist are in the game. When I say team assist, I mean the new team assist UI. But that might be this week. I don't know. We'll see. That's my top priority. So Cicero says, brings up a good point. Let's get people outside the platform fighting game scene. Who are like some like variety streamers or variety players or just people who are like well known within the gaming community? Jeff the Hero. I don't know who that is, but I'm writing his name down. XQC. I don't know who that is either, but I'm writing them down. Moon. I don't think speedrunners are good because speedrunners are so focused on that thing that, and they have a certain mentality about exploitation, as Cicero just mentioned. It's not, they don't really play games as they do like they're like marathon runners. Admiral Baru? Who's that? Voy Boy? Yeah, maybe. Maybe Voy Boy might be super expensive. Rage, time, mouse. Sure. Game Grumps feels weird to me. because they're like a group. I'd rather get like a specific person. Who's stripping? Soda poppin'? Is Soda poppin' out of our budget? He might be. Who's Jericho? Yeah, exactly. So, I'm going to say we've got an open suggestion. If there's people you think we should reach out to, we should start a list or a document somewhere. Maximilian dude's a good one. I've already reached out to him though. He doesn't respond to me. Some of them might be expensive. Others you don't know. And if they're too expensive, we just won't reach out to them. But or we won't. They'll tell us, and then we'll be like, we can't do that. So yeah, I'm gonna set up a document. We'll call it like wish list. And you can put like whoever you like put who you like, who you would be like super excited if they played this game, and gave their feedback on it. And we can have I'll put like some like fields for like what do they play normally, like what genre are they, so we can see who they are and what the point is. Strippin'? I don't know Strippin'. He might be good. Cool. Windows and Lord Knight. Okay. So if you've got any more suggestions, save it for the document that I'm going to put up, and we will see what we can do there. We'll see. But the idea is that we'll be bringing these people in and asking them what they think about the game. And we're always going to stagger it based on specific questions we have. I feel like for the people who are non-fighting game right now, I don't know if we're ready yet, because we don't have like all of the casual content yet, and we don't have Team Assist 100% done yet. But once we do, I would go more to them. Right now, I think we still want fighting game people because, for example, this fighting game pro, basically, reversals wasn't his idea, but the problem that reversals solved was raised by him. And that was on Thursday. So he was like, yo, like, problem, game's too fast, I just get bodied, and like I can see people wanting to have more neutral, more opportunities for neutral, more opportunities for like turnarounds and combos, so it's not just kind of 0 to death constantly, and there's more kind of variety of what can happen in a crazy combo. And I think reversals is a great idea because it keeps the pace of the game really fast, but it just gives an opportunity for like a turnaround. Like, oh shit, like that guy was getting bodied to hell, and suddenly boom, like it's flipped around, and now the other guy's in control through skill, not through the guy pushed a button, right? We don't want the button to be auto, your combo is my combo, but we want it to be where there's the potential for that to happen. I wrote down Aperture Black, but please save all of these for the forum. I'm going to try to put the names in there that I have written down, and then we can kind of sort them by what genre they're in, and go from there. If you're really opinionated on it, a lot of the conversation around this will be happening in the war room, where you have to be a war master to do it. But you know, there will be times where generally people can contribute to this conversation, like right now. If you want to be on the cutting edge of this conversation and very involved in like who we're reaching out to and how that's going and what's happening, you'd have to be a war master. Some of these who we're reaching out to and what's happening is going to be kept, you know, confidential among the war masters or among an even more secret group, tight-knit group of people, because we don't want to like, oh, so-and-so is playing our game. Like, we don't want to have that out there. We don't want to like betray that trust. Like, we're not hiring these people for that. And so it's not about that. It's more about we genuinely want their feedback. And as someone who has so much exposure to so many different players or has so much time spent on video games, they really can see like what are some problems with the game. So this is the beginning of phase 2. We're going to start doing this more. I'm really excited about what it means for us as a game. I'm really excited about what it means for us as a community. I'm really excited about the potential. If some of these people come in and they really, really like it and they go, yo, I know you're trying to do this for me, but I would love to stream this when it goes out, you know? That's kind of like the upside, but that's not why we're doing this. We genuinely want the feedback because they are skilled and they're good at what they do, and they'll be able to help us see problems with the game from an outside perspective. If we just constantly listen to the people inside the Discord, everything's going to be iterative, but it's going to be iterative. You know what I mean? There's nothing going to be like kind of coming out of left field. Sometimes these calls go well where you're like Ataru's idea to have the hit stun be colored to the KBB, great. That you can't always count on that. But when you bring an outsider in, guaranteed you have at least one thing where they say something no one's ever thought of or no one's ever talked about. Or they say something that's on your mind, but it isn't a high priority, and then you go, well, this is the one thing they're bringing up, maybe it is a high priority. So that's why we're bringing these people in, and so, you know, not everyone's going to be hearing about it, who we're talking to and when, but what's exciting to know is that it's happening. Okay, so the second part of phase 2 is we now have multiple war masters in the same territory, and so we want to start developing performance-based hierarchy and leadership roles for war masters to kind of be like a lead war master for a certain territory, or you know, the co-lead war masters for a certain territory, where, you know, they are the kind of heads of managing this territory, growing the ecosystem there. And then they have their other war masters who can kind of help them out, you know, bring things to the locals, you know, bring their laptop, bring controllers, bring adapters. They're there to help explain it. You know, they're there to help cultivate a bracket. They're there to be a body in the bracket, right? Like, I think, you know, they're there to invite friends also to come to these locals to see the game in person and play it in person. So again, I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about these War Master territories becoming dojos, and then we can say, hey, who's the best player in, you know, War Master territory of Georgia? Let's have them fight the best people in Texas. War Masters, you know, figure out who your best players are and let's see who can win, right? That's where we're going, and that's what I want to see, and I'm really excited to have community members taking this initiative and doing this. So I think this is all hype. I think this is super exciting. Again, to steal the Dr. Disrespect quote, we are at the top of the mountain and we're only halfway up. Things feel super good. Things are changing really fast. Things are getting really polished really fast. again, like, I feel like Thanos with the Infinity Stones, with all of you guys here backing us up, like, it's crazy how much momentum we have and how much we're accomplishing. So again, thank you all. Thank you for everything. And I can't wait for the next update and what I'll get to say we did in the last 2 weeks or the last month or however long it is until our next big war effort update like this one. Before I go, is there anything anybody wants to say about war effort part 2? Is there anything anybody wants to say just in general? Voice chat or YouTube chat, let me know. I want to stay on for a couple minutes, give people time to say something, and if not, then we can end the stream.
The Raymer tournament's tonight, right?
No, I postponed it to Tuesday because, first of all, a lot of people are out. Second, and then actually more importantly, I want to have reversals included in the tournament because I'm really interested to see what happens at top level play with that mechanic. And two, particularly for Raymer, I want to have the shield bashing reflecting for that tournament. So I'm going to need to push it back to Tuesday.
Okay.
Sorry, Ataru, you're gonna get some more challenges to deal with.
Okay. I'm pretty excited for that.
I think you're gonna do well.
I hope I do.
I'm confident you will.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're good. You're a good Raymer player. I don't know how you do it, considering like all the stuff you're doing to help us out too, but you're really solid. I actually, speaking of like competitive play, I need to start getting like more time in, more hours in the gauntlet, as it were, because I realized my bindings are like not optimal. At peak keyboard caco, I had all of my C-stake bound, and I'm currently not playing with that, and it's definitely impacting my ability to like be at the compete with our top 8. So I need to go back and do that. Naj, if you sign up to be a War Master, you can host Vortex Rising locals. You can invite your friends over to play it. You can play it publicly at school and stuff. You just need to go through a little bit of like training of like how to talk about the game, what you're allowed to talk about, what you're not allowed to talk about, things like that. But you can do that today if you sign up to be a War Master. So you don't have to wait. Not to put pressure on you to be a War Master or anything. I just want to let you know that that opportunity is there. Cicero, are you there?
Yeah, what's up?
So without like revealing like who the person was when we talked on Thursday, like what would you say as like kind of a fly on the wall in the room and someone who was actually like playing with him? What was your kind of takeaway from like their reaction of the game?
I think overall, they thought very positively about it. And they gave a bunch of decent feedback and like knee-jerk reactions that were fairly informative. Like from then, I still have a notepad with some notes I took open.
Yeah, and do you think that that was a valuable session? Like, would you say we should like do more of those based on what you saw? Do you feel like there were things that we learned from it that were like helpful to the game?
Honestly, yeah. I think we should do at least a few more sessions. Once
Yeah.
things have gotten into development a little more, though, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Just then we can get more feedback over
Exactly.
time.
And this was like a 30-minute session basically, and we got the idea for reversals out of it. That's like a major mechanic. Yeah, Naj. I mean, when I say host a local, that's all I mean. Like, it could just literally be a casual environment where people can like meet up at your place and play. If you wanted to invite them there, or wherever you feel comfortable at school or work or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I can also take you to the DMs and we can talk about it there if you're seriously interested. But it's pretty chill. It's not a you have a lot of potential responsibility, but the role itself isn't a major responsibility. If that makes sense. Cool. I'm gonna give it another minute here. If no one has anything else that they want to say, we can end it. Cicero, thanks for kind of opining on what you thought about the session. Sorry to put you on the spot. I kind of do that. I feel like I do that with you a lot, or I call on you to say stuff, but it's because I just respect you a lot as a player. So, and as a member of our community. Ah, you're doubtless. Okay.
Happy to help.
Yeah, thanks, Cicero. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end the stream for now. I'll be around. I'll be in voice chat later tonight. I'm going to be working on some fixes. We have a couple little bugs with the indicator for the reversal not disappearing when people die. I actually fixed that already. We have some issues where certain people are using a spark when they shouldn't, or they can't spend a spark if they want to. And so I'm going to try to fix all of that in the next patch here. And then there was the other thing about the hit stun color to KBB. I'll see if I can get that done. And maybe I can get that in by 10 o'clock Eastern, or maybe a little bit earlier. We'll see. Cool, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy playing on Experimental. We've got the reversals in there. Gauntlet is not stable right now, whether you do have desyncs. But it's not breaking. It's just you get the desyncs every once in a while. I think it only applies to 3-player Gauntlet. I think 4 players fine, which is weird. It's just like a quirk when you have 3 people in it. But I'm testing a fix, which I think might be the fix for all fixes for Gauntlet. And if you're interested, while the build is running and compiling, I'll actually go into Discord chat, stream my screen, show you the code of Gauntlet, and why it was breaking and why I think I fixed it for real this time. We'll see. But if you're interested and you're curious and you want to learn more about programming, you just want to like see some stuff behind the scenes, I'll be in Discord voice chat. So see you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you around.